Hey everybody, we're just going to play a game. Going to do a 15 turn. Going to get a random opponent. We don't know what we're going to do, don't know what we're going to find. Okay, we've got a 1528 rated opponent. We have the white pieces. I'll go e4. To take some watches off. Okay, we got Caro-Kann, so I know what I always do against the Caro-Kann. And now knight c3. Okay, just got feeling back in my hands. I refereed an under 15s rugby match this morning. It was 6 degrees Celsius and my hands were like the colour of raspberry ripple ice cream. So there were purple bits and then white bits. And I completely lost feeling and movement in my left hand at one point. I don't know why we do it. And we're volunteers, we don't get paid for this stuff, you know. Okay. So this is all going splendidly, according to my evil plan. Right, okay, you can pre-move the recapture on the pawn. So we've got two attackers now. They've got a pawn on f3, two attackers there. And he's taken. Okay, so what we're waiting for is this. And then we've got the option. And I don't think I'm going to go for the oh no my queen line, because it's inferior, but we can go for this as well. The best move in chess, bishop takes f7 check. King has to take, because if he comes here he just gets hit with another check. Okay, and now this, and we're hitting the king and the bishop. The old von Hennig gambit does very, very well for me. There we go, now we take the bishop. Now you've got to be careful, you've got to take it with a knight. You take it with a queen, and you lose your queen. Also, if he takes now, then that's actually checkmate. Worth knowing. There we go. So, I mean, I've quite often won in this gambit in 9 moves. If you go for the oh no my queen line, which, if you don't know it, it's this. Knight to there, and you are literally threatening bishop takes f7, mate. Right? Oh, it's 8 moves actually, isn't it? 7 moves. Wow. Yeah. So here, if black takes your so you take, and that's move 7. If they take your queen, move 8 is bishop takes f7 mate. Okay. So we're not actually up material at this point. This is the issue. And they're attacking my knight. They've already also got 3 pawn islands. So the big imbalances are lack of development for black, the fact that black's king has already had to move, so no castling rights. So I'm kind of tempted to take the knight, but I'm also really liking the look of knight e5. Knight e5, short castle, then this hole here on f7 I think becomes a real liability for black. Think short castles, get my bishop out, maybe here, queen here, get castle there, get my rook on f1. I mean, this is probably already like a +4, I would say, maybe for white, I don't know. But I almost feel bad, you know. But this, honestly, this line against the Caro-Kann is, let's pull up the Explorer while we're waiting on opponent, eh? So my game's as white. We do this, knight here, okay? So if d takes e4, I've got it. I'm winning 2/3 of the time. I'm winning 67. Black's only won 30% of the games from here, right? And then bishop c4, I'm at 66%. So I'm winning. Yeah, I'm winning 2/3 from here. And of course, you know, knight f6 is the most popular move. And then after this, 76%. 76% of the time. And if they take, it's 81%. And taking is by far the most common move. So it's just ridiculous. Bishop g4, 86% of the time we win. Okay, so he's brought his knight out. Okay, so sorry, just had to pause. That's daughter coming back. This is on. I'm not up material, so this really doesn't benefit me that much to start simplifying now. If I come in here, I'm hitting the bishop and the rook. Where's the rook going to go? Can't go here because my bishop will kill it. So rook's going to have to go there. I am going to need to defend this knight though. Do I want that bishop? If I take, maybe queen takes. I don't have to move him right now. I mean, this knight's got actually 3 reasonable squares where it can go. I feel like I want to get my king safe. But the question is, do I want to long castle and get my rook on d1? Or do I want to short castle and get my rook on f1? I think short castles. Right, but is there anything worse? That's defended twice. That's defended twice. My bishop does want to join the fray at some point. Maybe it can come in here. Don't know. I think short castles now, because the reason is it comes with an immediate extra attacker on the king side, which is the whole point of what we're doing. Queen here. I mean, this rook's actually very well defended. I could eliminate the bishop. It's a very open board. This bishop is likely to become a stronger piece if black manages. Hello, if black manages to develop it. Okay, he's moved his queen. Why have you moved your queen? Okay, attacking the knight. I get it. Okay, I'm going to eliminate the bishop. Okay, now the knight is pinned, so I can actually come in here if I want. This knight can't move. It's in an absolute pin. Also this move, so maybe bishop first, is quite flexible. Means that this pawn is also only defended by the rook. So this, and let's do bishop first. I'm not sure. I'm going to come here? Not really. Bishop in there. Knight's pinned. If I take the knight, he's got a spare. He can just replace it. He's got 2 pawns. It's well defended. That's not the point. I would prefer to have put my bishop somewhere where it's actually defended itself. So something like this would be kind of nice, but I'm not sure if these are really major action squares in this game. The real action's going to go on around here. So, I mean, a knight on there would be great. So let's bring the bishop in with the idea then that the knight is going to follow. That's then 2 attackers on this knight. Now we know it's well defended. It's got 3 defenders. But I can add a queen as a 4th attacker. So if the knight comes in here, queen f3, that's then 4 attackers, all on this guy. And it's only defended 3 times, but the first 2 recapturers are pawns, so don't really count. I can do 1 recapture, but I'm not going to then take a pawn with a piece for a pawn to recapture. Don't work. I have a notification. Bernie990 wants to be friends. Of course, Bernie. The lovely, cuddly, fluffy von Hennig gambit. Okay. H4 springs to mind. I mean, he's already pushed his h-pawn to h5. So h4 there, it's perfectly well defended. I'm doing it. Queen's no other threat, really. This knight can come in. Maybe even like round here would be super, wouldn't it? I do love knights. I really do like my knights. I can't go there now, actually, because the queen's guarding that square. So maybe something like queen f3, rook a to e1, then the knight comes in. Also means that this pair of pawns is kind of pinned for now. Okay, so he's broken the pin on the knight. So the knight is now no longer pinned. Okay, everyone pay attention. The knight is no longer pinned. So now I'm thinking maybe queen e2, so that at least I have a major piece in line with the king. Queen e2, rook a e1, and I'm simply threatening mate then. Any benefit to eliminating that knight? I don't think so. I think this bishop is in a lovely place, applying pressure. So something that becomes, I think, much more of a feature of your play as you improve is that pressure becomes more of a consideration, right? At the beginner level, breakthrough level, maybe it's more about short-term tactics, right? But building pressure, and leaving pins in place, and leaving quite often tension in place, seems to become more critical as you go on. So now let us notice this pawn is pinned. So the knight is attacked once, twice, and defended twice. That's okay. Okay, this is just a feature of the game. Rook A1 is a very nice looking move. I don't know if I'm worried about this knight. I could even eliminate it, maybe break his pawns even more. But black is, considering material is equal, black's not in great shape. But if you know, we've all seen games like this that just simplify down into, and suddenly before you know it, your advantage as it was is just evaporated, and you're down to a regular equal endgame. Positionally, black has an issue with the isolated pawn here, of course. Okay, that knight's defended once, twice, 3 times now. All these pieces are defending. So this is not really playable. I think getting a rook on the semi-open file makes a lot of sense. Notice, by the way, this knight is now pinned. He is pinned. But can I attack him? I mean, if I go there, knight can't take because I take the queen. It is a thought. Also, this move. Oh, taking advantage of the pin on this pawn. Yes, yes, yes. I should have played that probably already. I think that move right now would have been great, because this knight can't take, otherwise rook takes queen, right? I come here, I'm threatening this. This pawn is pinned already by the queen. It doesn't need to be pinned again, right? This does not make it any more of a pin. Absolute pin is, the clue's in the word, in the adjective. Okay, so I missed the trick there. I jumped the gun on. Okay, and here we go. Okay, so, however, still, this knight is still pinned by the rook, so I feel like this, maybe c3 at some point. It just feels really good. Here, am I threatening to take the knight? Well, you can just recapture with another knight, so probably not. I could go here. If knight takes, d takes, away from the center, but opening up the center. Also, look at this rook. How's it going to get in the game? It's not right now. This rook is defended only by this knight. Could I go here? Then my threat is to take out the knight, but again he does this. But that does kind of make sense. Let's consider this move again. I don't know, it's kind of getting in the queen's way. I don't feel like it's time for that. So I'm going to play queen d3. With a definite threat. I mean, if it takes, actually knight takes, I could even take again. Takes, and then I get the, let's think that through. I take out his knight. He's moved out of the way. Okay, he's no chump at all. Now, is it time now for this? Knight can't take me. This pawn's defended twice, king and queen. Knight still pinned. Because I feel like as well, I probably need to use these pawns to try and attack this area of the board now that the king's headed back that way. That's not really doing much. Yeah, I'm feeling like it's either time to pull the trigger on the knight sitting around there or around here. Here, at least I know knight still can't take, so it's in a better position. It's in the center now. It's controlling lots of squares. Oops. Right, look at these. And in my opponent's half, it's controlling 4 squares, which is no bad thing. My opponent's knights, on the other hand, are very much, you know, backwards. Here, you've got to consider it. Pawn takes knight. Rooks are facing off. No, I really don't want to be swapping material. My instinct just says c4 now. I'm not worried about this pawn moving forward. This knight is still pinned. So d5 coming. This knight is not involved. If he takes, I've even got probably pawn takes there now. Nothing's defending this pawn. It's not a comfortable position for black at all, but he's dug his heels in quite well. Okay, Kingy's gone for a wander. Okay, without much thought, d5. There takes, queen goes in, king can't retreat. Huh. I think d6 is playable, don't you? d6 check. What about this though? It actually pins the knight. So both knights are then pinned. Queen here. That knight's going nowhere. That knight's going nowhere. Queen's not got much on. But this, let's think this through. There, it's check, right? Pawn takes, queen takes. He's not going to do that, okay? So my feeling is he's going to run away. If he runs away to there, I can't really push because there's loads of knights on it. Well, that one is, but that one's pinned. But it can just get captured. I mean, it's nice. But why not do this first, then push that? Oh, he's looking at this, but it doesn't count because the knight's now in an absolute pin on the king. So it's going nowhere, and you're going nowhere. In fact, he has got this. Recapture. Yeah, that could be a pain. Oh no, I'm actually threatening to take this knight. So if he takes this now, I just take back. Right, then his knight has to come back around and block. But then his queen falls, so that's not playable. That's just calculation. The more used you get to doing it, the easier it gets. Don't be afraid to calculate. This is not playable because of queen takes there. And use your opponent's time as well to line up what's possible, what's not possible. This knight is still pinned, this knight is still pinned. Difference is that this one here in orange is not an absolute pin, so he might think about that idea, but it would be a blunder because of this. Comes with check, and the queen is vulnerable. So that's weird because it's like an attack on my queen and also a revealed attack against his own queen. Whew. Now, so the immediate threat is this. Let's not forget that. How many of us have lined up a move and then forgotten about the move and done something else because our opponent did something that surprised us and we forgot what we were doing? So I always like to remind myself about what is the current pressing issue. Opponent's burning a little bit of time now, but on this move anyway, because he was a bit ahead, now he's a bit behind. Mika Abajnok, whatever. Is that Hungary? Hungary. Whoa. Oh, it's plus 11. So what are we saying? There is no way to save the knight? That's the question I should have been asking for myself, right? This move. How does he prevent queen takes knight? Well, this is saying he doesn't. So looking here at the lines, black's best option here is king c8, and it's plus 13.9. Rook e to d8 is number 2. Or knight g4. Knight g4. Oh yeah. And by the way, so you might think, well, actually, there's 2 knights that can go to g4. So why doesn't the notation specify it? Well, the reason is because this knight is in an absolute pin. So that is not even a legal move. So the only piece that could move to g4 is this. Actually, that's not a bad move because, in a way, it means I can't take that knight, but I can take the queen. So very interesting. Let's have a look at the review, shall we? 1547 now. Quite happy with that. 80 accuracy from yours truly and a brilliancy. Get in, my son. And what are the numbers? 17-15. Opponent played 13-13. Well, thing is, the opponent was really just on the back foot from the very start. Okay, so here, there. Right, then the computer's shaking its head at me. But Stockfish, right? It's a gambit, right? Let me teach you. So it takes, and now it's saying -1 for black, which is really interesting because, like, look at my development, but I'm down a pawn, so that's what it's reflecting. Anyway, this is a blunder, but it's so common, right? You think, well, pinning the knight on the queen, what can go wrong? Well, when you pin a knight on a queen, make sure there isn't an enemy bishop facing down at your f-pawn. And also, the other thing to check is, can that knight that it appears to be pinned, can it move forwards to one of these squares for free without being captured? Because if so, boom, shakalaka, and another boom on the end. Okay. So here we are, looking good. There's an inaccuracy or a mistake coming up. Okay, knight into the middle. Okay, so I'm moving a developed piece now for a 3rd time. Is it 3rd time? 4th time. Yeah, move him back into the middle. Knight in the centre. Right, it's got good vision of the board. Knights are short-range guys, but stick them in the centre. Okay, that's good. This is good. Even back to f3. Computer says was marginally better. And that's not fantastic. E5! Whoa, E5 it says now. Give up the exchange. Yeah, okay. Queen here. And this is mistake. Queen D3 is the best move here. Developing a piece. Yeah. I mean, look, we know that this bishop is bad right now because it can't develop. So I knew I was in a good position, even with equal material. So I swapped off, still plus 1.6, but queen d3 would have been even better. King takes is a mistake. You should have taken back with a knight, huh? Yeah, I guess, no, I don't know. And that's a miss, knight e4. Knight e4, basically, so what he's done is he's pinned his own knight with that move. So knight e4 now, well, it's waiting a long time to play knight e4. Again, so this knight again is pinned, as we saw, for much of the game. I don't know. I don't know. Queen up here. h4, you see? So here's a point. Principles are great. Principles are your friend. All other things being equal, go with principles. However, you've got to know when to bend them. Now, I very often say, don't move a pawn in front of your king, right? But then I qualify it by saying, unless you've got a damn good reason to do it. And I think locking this bishop in on there and preventing this bastard from going any further up the board, I think that's a damn good reason. Okay, so when you can justify it to yourself, it's your game, you're in charge. H4, best move. Thank you very much. King, that's not good. Queen there, good. Again, see, just simple stuff. Pin the pawn. Major piece in line with your opponent's king. Not rocket science. Okay, good move. Good move again. Oh! Ah, but I thought... What was I thinking then? Was it this? So let's see, what would it have been like to bring the knight in there? Not brilliant after queen d5. Queen d5 stops the knight going into that square. Okay. So anyway, we played rook e1. Computer approves. King went the wrong way slightly. Again, queen d3. Like, tiny little move. But we're threatening to remove the defender of this rook. And he would have to recapture with a knight or lose the rook. But then again, I could even take out the knight. Queen recaptures, say, I still get the rook. So that could have been all right. I basically win a knight that way, right? I take, that's equal. But then I take... Oh, he's got pawn takes. Yeah, G takes would actually defend the rook. So maybe it didn't work. Good. See, all good moves here. Good moves. But black is playing from a poor position. C4. Bishop takes knight is best. Okay. It was still 4.4. Then it says it wants to put the knight there. So it's saying bishop takes, G takes, knight to there. Now reusing this outpost, defended by Harry. It's okay. King here, mistake. And now it's gone to +8. Bishop f4. The immediate bishop f4 was best here. That was not best. I think I remember I said pushing d5 was a bit of a kind of almost an instinctive move. I didn't really consider anything else. Bishop f4, yeah. And then best move and wins. So very happy indeed. Happy camper over here. Yeah, always nice to beat 1500. I'm now just nudging up to 1550. Let's see if we can get to 1550 and then 1600 and keep building from there. All right, everyone, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.